How's everyone doing? I promise you this won't sound good.
How's it going, dude? Hey, man, what's up? Tell Tony to turn the radio back.
When you grab a hold of me, tell me that I'll never be set free. Well, I'm a parasite, grabbing dreaming through the night. 2 pints of booze. Tell me, are you a bad fish too? Got no money to spend, ain't got no night, will never end. Lord knows I'm weak, won't somebody get me off of this ring? Baby, you're a big blue whale, grab the reef with almond diamonds fin. Swim, but I wish I never learned. Got the rooted wisdom. When it's 10 feet overhead, grab the reef, almond diamonds. Got no corals with God, ain't got no time to get old. Lord knows I'm weak, won't somebody get me off of this, please? I gotta work on the singing and playing. Ain't got no corals with God, ain't got no time to get old. Lord knows I'm weak, won't somebody get me off of this reef? And now live from Boca Raton is the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. I gotta tell you, this is kind of cool. Never was a big fan.
Being in Brooklyn,
Never,
I think it's pretty cool.
never been a big fan of this
But you
because
like it.
I could tell I ain't there.
I think we are there. We took the chairs and everything with
You know,
us.
I wouldn't know if I'm there.
You would know? What would you do differently? You do this?
It isn't that. It's, I've never been a big proponent of green screening,
I know.
but I gotta tell you, it looks pretty good. I look all right.
I think it looks great. I think it's pretty cool to be in Brooklyn. You know what? It's a whole lot easier than dealing with the airplane and all that other stuff. Maybe we can be on Broadway. We can get our director's chairs. We can do that. That'd be kind of cute, too.
Now, what I like about what they did here is the ingenuity to get it done, because we asked them to do it, and Josh and crew came together and they put it together. I think the ingenuity is fantastic.
We got a great crew, I have to tell you. I went to a networking event today. You don't realize how good you got it until you actually share what we do and who we have and the shows that we produce and what we're all about. You can't even talk about it in 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And then I come in and they've got this going on. You've got 9 new Roku channels. Why are my hands black? Oh, what's that? Got all kinds of things going on.
It looks fine to me.
It does?
Yeah. Now, I got to tell you, Karen's agent called me because Somos Latina, the Latin show, now wants a green screen in Studio B.
We can take care of that. She's like, oh, wow.
But the problem is that this isn't going to fit in Studio B.
Then we
Way
get a
too
smaller
big.
one.
You need a smaller one.
Then we get a smaller one. I don't know if it's too big because this just
no,
happens
no.
to be on the stage.
Oh, no. This thing, I'm looking at
It's
it.
an 8 by 10.
Yeah,
So we get a 5 by 7.
Yeah, this is
And
huge.
I've got the other ones too. We got a lot of
Yes,
assets
you can put
in
the
cafe
chair
that
one.
we can use.
You can put the chair, her in a chair one, absolutely, and the guest. And they do that thing where they put it this way.
Yeah, just like we do for.
Ingenious. I like Karen. You like it? You could tell your agent to stop calling me. I got you fully covered. She's on the LZs.
I want to know how you named those Z.
I
Why
did
not
not.
B's?
I had nothing to do with those.
Why did we name
That
them
was
Z and
Josh.
not a B?
Why are they LZs?
Because the other ones are A1, A2, and I wanted something the complete opposite of A. Complete opposite of A is Z.
That just confuses me. And does it go from left to right or right to left?
One.
Z1's over here.
So it goes left to right.
Yeah.
And I would have started it there, so
Yeah.
don't ever go by me.
Right
Well,
to left.
He starts at left to right.
But we always
That's
lay
'cause
these
you're
other
facing
ones
these
this
the
way
other
to this way. I don't know.
But the funny thing is he reads Hebrew because he's reading backwards.
He was playing a whole Hebrew song over there. I don't know what you were doing. He had a whole Israeli situation going.
I tell you, I felt like I was in Palestine.
So I met a. Where's the buzzer? It's up there. So I met a guy today who's got this accent, and I said to him when we were leaving, "Where are you from?" And he says, "You notice my southern twang?" I said, "No, not really." He says, "I'm from Georgia." She's laughing. Teddy, did he sound like he was from Georgia? Thank you very much. He says, "My grandmother's from Georgia," and I'm thinking, okay, and I'm waiting for him to say, "But my parents are European. They're from Germany." He's from Georgia.
It's funny because I was in an interview. I was in a discussion yesterday, and the lady says to me, "Where are you from? What country are you from?" I said, "The South Bronx." She says, "The country South Bronx? Oh yes, I've heard of it."
We got sound effects going on also.
I gotta go
Hold on.
change my underwear. He scared
You
the
know,
hell out of
when
me.
when this crew levels it up to what they've done today, and our 9 Roku channels, the Mother's Day Gratitude newsletter will be going out on Friday this week. A lot of great things happening as we roll into summer. We're going to be doing some family fun activities that are free or of low cost to get your kids out, grandkids out in the community for this summer. Everyone's having a tough time.
So we're doing all that, and people are having a tough time.
People are having a tough time
Maybe people are
financially,
having a fun time.
so let's give them a fun time.
Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, today's grand poobah moment is Teddy's going to be singing karaoke.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm thinking no.
Why do you say no? When you say no, it gives her encouragement not to do it.
She doesn't sing though.
She does.
She
How do
does?
you know she doesn't
I've
sing?
never heard her sing.
That doesn't mean she doesn't. Karen, do you sing?
Yes.
Karen sings all the time.
See? And Karen, were you born singing when you came out of mama? You were singing?
I was. I think so.
Karen's been so busy cleaning our coffee pot today. I don't even know what to tell you.
That made. It's funny.
Look at
You
that.
see this shot? You see this shot? I was told by a producer
That it
that
didn't
this
work.
wasn't doable. And I said to him, why? And he says, this isn't doable.
Yeah,
And
I
look at
remember
that.
that.
It is very doable.
I remember that. You just never know what you can do. You don't listen to that man.
Don't listen to the man behind the curtain. So look at that. It's actually there. Karen, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm going to store just to be able to talk
You
to
guys look great over there in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
This is the Brooklyn Bridge. but
Oh,
thank
the
you for
Brooklyn Bridge.
Tell me about Latinos Unidos. What are we going to be talking about?
What is it called? What was that?
Not
Latinos
doing
what?
it. Unidos?
Unidos?
No?
No.
What is it?
Unidos.
Unidos. Unidos?
We're launching Latinos Unidos, which is gonna have a spotlight for the Spanish businesses in our community, in our area. We're gonna try to have a fun time. and also spotlight, you know, the businesses and how they were motivated to start their business and how do people contact them if there's going to be any events happening soon. We'll talk about all of that.
How do you say one in Spanish?
Uno,
How do you say two?
dos,
So that's like one and two together?
uno, dos.
Tres.
We missed that
Cua-
one.
Uno, dos, tres,
So you're putting
cuatro.
one and two together, you know what that means? United.
Three.
Three. So don't you ever wonder about how Spanish words come to be?
No.
Really?
Unidos Latinos is not one and two.
If you break it up to one,
Unidos is united.
that's what I'm saying.
Like
you put one and
it's-
two together.
Estados Unidos is United States, so Latinos Unidos
She's
is
getting
United
uno,
Latinos.
No, she's getting uno y unidos confused.
Oh.
They're not the same word.
I know they're not the same word, but it's like Latin. When you put words together, it makes sense on how they come together, don't you think?
Am I supposed to say yes?
Yes.
I understand what she's talking about.
Of course
Thank
you
you.
do.
Right? If you look for
Oh,
Of course you do. You and her share a brain.
if you look for like the root word on something to understand the meaning of a word, ever take, I'm asking the wrong one, when you go through the SATs and you try to figure out what the meaning of a word is, right?
That's
You look
why
at
I
the
got a
root word,
700.
and then you look at the
It
prefix
still
and
don't
the
make no
suffix.
sense to me.
But sometimes words just make sense, like one and two.
I gotta tell you a real scary story. I asked Teddy something that I asked you before. She gave me the exact same answer. Because it's the right answer. Because it's the right answer. It's like they share a brain. And in comes Juliet over here, and he's like the third part of this brain. It's like the three of you are connected.
But I love this morning as Russ comes in. And already he said, I just had a couple questions. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm recording. I said, didn't you record yesterday?
That was Teddy.
He says, yes, I'm coming back tomorrow. And
That
I
was
said, are
Teddy.
you sure?
That was Teddy. I forgot that we were in here.
It's all good. I said, he says, I think I just need to talk to you. I go, yeah, we're Teddy, not Freddie. He goes, I spoke to Teddy. It's confusing between Teddy and freaking two.
I thought you fixed those lights.
I did. You know what? There's like a break in it down.
No, it's not a break. It was on.
It's got a crimp in it where it bends over if you got to touch it the right way, and then it goes on or off. I got to like touch it and tape it maybe. I'll take care of it. Well, see, we'll have a whole new set of lights though. We can always rehang.
But you're gonna have to get something else because that's to fix that problem.
We'll figure it out.
I hate it because I used to like looking over and the lights were on. Anyway, informed me that I was actually I was putting the individuals pieces that belong in the channels. It's like Josh's show. What's the other one? P2P is another one. What's Popping is another one. Those are gonna go under
Brew Crew TV.
Brew Crew TV. I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's going to be a new graphic coming out. Josh,
It's-
want to fill us in?
it's we call ourselves the Brew Crew. All the interns, I mean, not interns, but all the producers, they call them the Brew Crew. So if we have Brew Crew TV, that TV program is going to have all the Brew Crew shows on it. It's going to have the Hangout, my show. It's going to have What's Poppin', which is Abraham's show. And then Pitch 2 Production, which is Mayor's show. And then obviously, I don't know if we're doing Cooking Up Chaos on that one, but
We should.
obviously we can add that one to it as well
Yep.
too.
So I can't wait to see the logo.
What are those paintings over there for, Josh?
Because we tried to put up on the easels, but I was too lazy to put them back. So they're just there
We were
for
going
right
to
now.
put the easels behind us. Then we
Where
thought,
did
no,
those
let's just
paintings come from?
What are you talking about?
The ones on the sofa.
The one on the sofa over there, and then there's one behind it that goes in the studio.
The white one goes on the sofa?
You
on
never
the-
seen
it's
it?
on the
No, it goes
door, I
on the
think.
door. But I
Oh, on the
I
door,
the
yes,
ladder
yes.
up, so I had to take off the
I
painting
got
and
you.
the
Okay, I
clock.
was wondering, saying something doesn't look right. Yes, but that is correct. So I had it all wrong because I was like Kendra goes on the music. I know my mind wanders. Kendra goes on the music channel
Yes.
because her podcast is going to go on the Spotify channel. So there are two different things going on at the same time.
I'm wondering how you're going to put her on Roku if it's just audio, though.
Because I could still do a video cast and turn it into. Don't get wise with me. I do a video cast and turn it into a podcast.
Okay, so you're going to do Kendra as a video. Teddy.
Teddy, did you get that?
She's not even in the room.
She's in the room.
Nope. She's in another room. So that's my question
Did
to
you
you.
get that? Kendra is going to do video cast so that we can do the podcast and the Roku.
So we're going to do both for her. Okay, we're going to talk to her and find out.
And Karen, the Spanish music that you're getting from Chile is going to have to go on a channel that has, like Josh did, music videos. Hey, that'd be an idea. Have some music videos put together. Something simple, not the complicated stuff he does, which came out very nice, by the way. Something very easy.
We're going to launch that on Friday with
Yes,
Doctor?
at 12 o'clock and at 1 o'clock. He's going to be in studio.
Nice.
He's coming in. We got some more stuff to talk about.
Josh, do you know about his album?
I have no idea.
He sent me an album. We're going to talk about it Friday.
Does it sound all the same? Well, the same genre, I guess, if you want to call it.
Probably.
We're going to talk about it Friday. I don't know. I'm curious to find out what he has on there.
Okay.
That could be some of the stuff you're going to be working on, actually. We'll see. But the Kendra, the Karen thing is interesting because you just brought to light that Roku is a TV channel. I'm thinking maybe doing something like MTV for the musics. Something where MTV is still around. It's been 40 done. Is going into the AMP network, yes.
And how is that going to work?
I'm going to have that on a different website that's going to be used for other people to go in and find it. So if you click on it, it takes you to the Roku channel. If you click on it, it takes you to the Spotify channel.
This is what you stay up at night thinking about? I do think about it, which is why I asked you all these questions.
No, I just think that we have to create something that people aren't doing with all the amount of material that we have. San Francisco is going to be a player in this thing, and Chile is going to be a player. And I spoke to England; they want to be a player as well. The television stuff for the kids, where kids can go in Florida and enjoy themselves, is something that I think Josh brought up way back when, and we never did it. Now we got drones and everything else going on.
You know where I can send them? The Delray Beach Children's Garden.
Absolutely.
That's where they can go.
You actually
be a
have
great place. 2
crews because I think there's a girl in here, Nikki something or another, that has a drone as well.
Yes, we have 2 crews. We've got Nikki's crew, Nikki and Elisa, and then we have Ryan and Shane are going to be going out.
And I'm looking for 1 more crew. 1 more crew. 3 crews covers it.
Do you know that the microphones, if not all cameras have the adapters for the shotgun?
Correct.
You knew that.
Yes.
We're just finding that out.
Oh, I could have told you that. That's why you have the clapper so you can record and film and then you put it together like a real editor producer.
Which is what you did with the video, which was incredible.
Yeah. What I use the clapper for is I marked every scene name.
Correct.
And then obviously I can see what scene it was that I shot, and I wrote down little notes saying at minute 2:25 seconds I liked this specific part of the song. So that's what I did.
When it claps and they start to talk, you know that film and that clap, it makes a line on the editor. And you line up the 2 lines, and then it should be cool.
That's fair. It's very exciting to see what's coming out of the studio. It's so exciting. People don't realize. Then I run into people and they said, so how's your podcast going? And what do you say to that?
How's your podcast going?
Yeah.
It's like a needle in a stack of needles.
Thank you. So when someone says to you after you've been doing this for 18 years, Freddie, how's that podcast you're on?
I said, what podcast?
And say, oh, it's all good. Well, I haven't followed you in a while. Okay. But I just wonder what people are thinking because you realize they don't know what they don't know.
Well, everybody here drives a car, right? How many wheels does your car have? 4. Presumably it's not a truck or
Correct.
something crazy.
4.
And then it has a spare tire, right? The podcast to me is a spare tire.
So that's what people say. How's your podcast going? I got to check that out.
What podcast?
I guess people think this is a podcast. I
No,
don't
we
know.
have over 10,000 people following our podcast. I think it's 11,000. Yeah, we have that, but that's not our bread and butter. Our Roku, if you're, we got about 3.4 million.
Wow.
But that Roku channel, the way they do it is we have 800 and something thousand this year. They add it up. So January 1st all the way till yesterday, go back in time, you see the history of the people. Because once you have an IP address, it doesn't go away. It's not like Facebook that I have 500 the next day.
I know. Facebook's
And people
always
only
changing.
catch the 0, and they go, you got nobody watching.
I know. I had somebody. There is an angel above Dawn's head in the arch of the bridge. Of course,
And it's
Frank.
back. He's back.
Because, Frank, they came with me from my house. I sent Frank this picture last night. Now he's going to have me looking at the arch above my head. Thank you. I've been inspired to wear my hat. How'd you like that picture I sent?
How do you like that she brings out my glass? You know that Dawn has one of these, right?
Really?
Yeah, it has the Boobylicious on them. Did you see it back there, or did they break it?
It's back there. But I'm excited that the angels come with me and they're above my head.
All right, Frank, help me, please. Frank, please help me.
It's
How did they
that.
put that flag up there?
It came with the bridge, is how all I know. Look, there's even a crane over there, too.
Do you know that I actually walked? There it is. There it is. Here, put it here, just so that people can see you can drink the water, your drink there.
There you go. Very cool. All right, want to take a commercial break?
Yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah.
If only. All I can say. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. More to come. See where we end up popping into on the other side of this commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment.
Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
The easiest way to sell your home is to call the number on your screen right now. We'll buy any home in any condition. And the more it's worth, the more you can get. Plus, no real estate fees or commissions means more money in your pocket. And no fix-up costs either. Sell any home in any condition, sometimes within days. Sell your home fast. Call right now for absolutely free information.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hello. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Yo te di todo mi amor y más, y tú no reconoces ni lo que es amar. Yo me puse dispuesta a tus pies y tan solo con desprecio me has pagado, pero ahora ve. Si una vez dije que te amaba, hoy me arrepiento. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no sé lo que pensé, estaba loca. Si una vez dije que te amaba y que por ti la vida daba. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no lo vuelvo a hacer. Ese error es cosa de ayer. Yo sé que un día tú volverás y tú de todo te arrepentirás. Yo me puse dispuesta a tus pies y tan solo con desprecio me has pagado, pero ahora ve. Si una vez dije que te amaba, hoy me arrepiento. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no sé lo que pensé, estaba loca. Si una vez dije que te amaba y que por ti la vida daba. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no lo vuelvo a hacer. Ese error es cosa de ayer. Que por ti la vida daba. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no lo vuelvo a hacer. Ese error fue cosa de ayer.
There she is, our very own Selena.
Selena.
In the house. All right, what else you got cooking? We got Arthur. We've got Wisdom Wednesday, Wisdom Cafe coming in today at 3 o'clock.
How did this turn on? This is Exorcist. It's because the lights are off. I gotta say, this has been the worst week for electronic equipment.
Why?
Because stuff keeps breaking.
But it's because we're Mercury retrograde until Monday.
I knew you were gonna say that.
And that's exactly why. So
That's
we're kind
not
of
why.
waiting out on some contracts. You got to wait and put everything in place until you're ready to rock and roll.
First of all, who ever heard of anything so silly?
Mercury retrograde? I don't know. So I went for a walk yesterday when I left here, and I'm walking around the neighborhood, and there's 3 doves on my roof.
I had 3 lizards.
I had 3, well, that's because you're you and I'm me. So I had 3 doves on the top of my roof. And if you ever read Frank's books, Tres Archangelis, I had the 3 of them. So Chuck's outside with me. I said, look, there's my 3 archangels. There's Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. And he looks at me, he says, now he probably doesn't even know what I'm talking about. He probably thinks I just named the doves the 3
Those
angels.
names, yeah.
But you know what? How great is that? And then Frank sent me 2 peacocks on a roof.
I was going to send you an elephant taking a crap at the zoo, but I didn't know if you wanted that.
Again, that's why you've got 3 lizards and I've got 3
That's
doves
right.
and angels.
That's exactly the reason why.
You should really walk in the light over here.
I should, but I need sunglasses. Are you
That's a whole nother thing, by the way.
Are you superstitious?
Superstitious or
Superstitious.
me, kind of.
Karen, are you superstitious?
I can't say it's superstitious. It's more of like, I don't like stepping on cracks. I won't walk in a
That's
handicap parking
superstitious.
space.
That's exactly what it is. Karen, are you superstitious? No, dishonestly. Yes, honestly.
Symbols that he was still around. Like, for instance, the day he passed, a blue jay was at our fence, and his favorite color was blue. And one of his dreams was, or poems that he wrote was, "My dream is to fly, to soar through the sky, to venture the vast world." So it made me think like he showed up as a blue jay.
But were you superstitious before that incident?
Not really. Like, I would see 1111 all the time, and you know, that's a number that's like the angels opening to heaven. And so I started like picking up some things, but after.
But you weren't superstitious.
Not
Josh,
really.
are you superstitious? You are superstitious, right? Most guys in sports are.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm a sport guy. So walking out to the baseball field, I never touch on that white line. Never.
And never change your socks if you're on a hitting streak and things like that?
Yeah.
It's like I won't touch an escalator handrail because it's a germy.
That's not superstition.
You
She takes off her shoe, uses the heel to hit the button, and stands on one foot like a peacock. It's unbelievable, like a flamingo.
I think one of the greatest inventions of all time is now they have at bathrooms, they have the little foot thing at the bottom of the door. So you don't have to pull the handle open. You can pull it open with your foot at the bottom.
I've only seen that very rarely.
I've never seen
You know how we would say, "Don't step on the crack or you'll fall and break your back" when you
Or
were
you break
little
your mother's
kids?
back.
That was a superstition we would have when we would be walking on the sidewalk, not to step on the crack.
We were walking outside last night, and Chuck says, "Watch out!" And there's this black snake on the sidewalk. So I'm walking, and then it moves, and I jump. He said, "Didn't I just tell you to watch? There's a snake there." I said, "I didn't expect it to move." He says, "You think it's going to sit there, wait for you to walk past it and not move?" And then I saw the dove, so I bring out
What
all
was
the
he
animals.
doing while the snake was on the ground?
Walking behind me. Is what I realized now that you said that. He walked behind me. What the heck is that? Hence why I've got Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel watching over me.
I was walking down the street with my ex-wife one day, and this dog, I thought he was going to bite me, but the owner had it by the leash, but it came lunging at me, and I took Michelle and I threw it at the dog.
You're very helpful on that one.
Very embarrassed, but yes, I did do that.
There was a Seinfeld episode about that where there was the fire inside the house, and George pushes away the clown and all the other
Throws
kids.
the clown at the fire room.
Yeah.
You never know
Wow.
what signs you have, but do you have like spirit animals or things
the
that
hell is
come
that?
forward and you know those are signs for you?
No.
Yes.
You do?
Butterfly. A butterfly is very meaningful. I remember, reading about afterlife, and there's symbols that are in the animals that you see. So like a dragonfly means like everything is going to be all right. A butterfly gives you like the message of change, that you're beautiful. You come from ugly and turn into beautiful. And like a dolphin is a really spiritual animal. Horses are as well.
I got to tell you, it's funny you say that because I've never been a proponent to that. But it seems like all the animals come to me and other people say that. Like where I live, on one side of the house, I got those red cardinals, tons of cardinals. On the other side of the house in the front, I got blue jays. On the back, I have blue jays.
And in your bathroom, you got killer bees.
No, that was another day. And it's funny because the cardinals disappeared when the killer bees came.
Sure.
Now they're back. So I'm in the front of the house, and I guess it's a female because she has something in her beak and they're making a nest. And she's screaming at me, "Get away, get away." Dee, 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 dee. I says, "Okay, take it easy." So the dolphins in Tampa, I went out and they came up to me and I saw them. I didn't think about any signs.
Really? But the animals don't come to everybody, or if they do, not everybody notices them.
I had a horse one time come and lick my face, except for Casper who bit my ear.
But remember the gorilla as well, that when Robin Williams had a connection with this gorilla, and after Robin Williams passed away, like the gorilla got depressed because she could feel his absence.
The gorilla.
The gorilla.
People
Robin
connect to
Williams
animals.
and the gorilla.
Yes. Have you seen that video of Robin Williams with the gorilla?
I'm trying to remember. Is this the famous
on in.
gorilla that can do sign language?
Yes.
Why do you
I
walk
forgot
like
her
that? You
name.
scare the
But
hell out
yeah.
of me. Ooh,
Come
what's
on in.
happening?
He's being very, very quiet.
He
Talking
walks in
about our
very,
spirit
very
animals.
quiet, and he scared me when you do that. I didn't know who was in the lobby.
Here, you can take my spot, Arthur.
You gonna take
Scary
Josh's
dude.
spot over there?
Yeah. Here, come take my spot.
The gorilla. It's funny because I never thought about, when I go to the zoo, I don't even look at animals that way. Now, there was this big black hawk one time, huge. They came and sat on the fence. I took pictures of it. And I didn't know what it was. It was huge. Now I see it fly because we live on the lake, so I guess it eats rodents and stuff.
The fly does?
Oh,
Oh, the hawk. Oh, you see the hawk fly. Yep.
In Spanish, it's called guarauao.
What a wow about that too.
Wow, wow, wow.
But I think everyone has them. It's just a matter of reading the signs. I think the signs come to everybody.
Coco's the name of the gorilla.
Coco the gorilla. I think everyone has the signs, just a matter of reading them. And if you see the messages.
It's not reading, it's being aware of them.
Yeah. True. Like the
But
angel
it's-
above my head.
It's amazing how some people do buy exotic animals as pets. Like,
Like a tiger?
wasn't Mike Tyson one that had
Yeah, the tiger.
Yeah, a tiger. And there's people like even in Africa who have pet elephants or giraffes, you know, and how do people connect with an animal is pretty cool, because how can you like learn the language?
There's a famous movie called We Bought a Zoo. You ever seen that movie? The family bought the zoo and they don't know anything about anything.
The one during the war.
Yeah.
And then the soldier hides out with her and they have an affair.
No, that's not the one.
Oh. The husband goes away, the
No,
soldier hides
no,
out,
no,
they have
no,
an
no.
affair.
I know what you're
and
talking
then
about.
there's the family that
That's
buys
not
the
We
zoo.
Bought a Zoo. That's We Are a Zoo. We bought a
That
zoo.
wasn't it?
No, We Bought a Zoo is a family that inherits a zoo. And they don't know nothing about animals. The guy doesn't even have a dog or a cat, and he inherits this whole zoo, and he has to figure out how to make ends meet, how to feed the animals, how to stay open, because this guy that wanted to take over the zoo wanted to knock out the family so that he could take it over, and he worked for the zoo department, whoever they are. So it's a great movie. Check it out. It's right up your alley.
You know, I like mine better, actually, is what I was thinking. And then you see them
What,
all.
that 1947 thing? That
well-
movie you're talking about is a World War II movie.
But it wasn't major in World War II, but it was about this family who ends up buying a zoo and becomes a hangout for some of the soldiers during the war and different things that are happening. Anyway, we've got Arthur in, host of Wisdom Cafe, which airs today at 3 o'clock. See what kind of words of wisdom we're going to be talking about today. Do you ever walk around town and just
All the
watch
time.
people?
I walk around town all the time.
Just watch people just go through their day, right?
No.
It's just going grocery shopping, dropping the kids off at preschool,
I don't got time for
carpools,
that.
just doing their day. And I stop and I think, are they just going through their day, or do they notice the signs? Do they realize the amazing
When the hell
things?
do you have time to walk around town watching people's day? When?
I was with Teddy this morning.
Oh, so you and Teddy were walking around town?
We were walking around the school, and that took me back to when my kids were growing up, and like that was my life for many years, was walking, taking the kids to preschool, talking to the moms, the playground, like that was my life. And how that my life went from that to this, and all the years in between, you almost forget that that was your life until you have this awakening of, wow, that was me then. But I don't think I was who I am. It was very centered on my kids and what they were doing. So I'm wondering, at what point does life change? Do you see things differently? Is it because I'm getting old?
Yeah. I don't know what you're doing. And lately, in the last couple of weeks, this retrograde thing has you going backwards.
But don't you look like if you were to go back to where your kids went to preschool, if they did, I don't know, if they went to preschool.
Who remembers? Who cares? And yes, I'm sure they did.
And it brings back, and we were talking to these people today in the networking, they're young dads, and just what it's like. And I think, how did I go from that to having a whole lot to say in a room of people that don't have
You
a whole lot to say?
always had a whole lot to say. You just never said it. What's the big mystery here?
The difference is nobody listened then.
That's your perspective. That doesn't mean that that's true. You told me you and Teddy went in there and you guys held court because nobody else had nobody ever said anything to say.
They had little things to say,
Okay.
but then I figured I could have gone on and gone on and gone on.
This
Thank
is like
you.
when I tell Josh that he's talented to sing, do the things he does. He gives me the shoulder. That shoulder must be so tired because this is all he does all day long.
And then we leave and someone says to me, how's your podcast? And I'm like, clear you weren't just back in that meeting room.
I don't have a podcast. How many times am I going to tell you?
But if I knew then what I know now, I wonder if I would do things differently. I wonder if I would speak up for myself more. I wonder if I would actually say what was on my mind. It never anything bad, but
Well, I'm gonna
actually
give you-
say what I was thinking then.
I'm going to give you a classic example because Karen, do you know Karen is a very educated person?
Yeah.
She has a tremendous background, including she does ballerina. She did all this stuff, correct?
Yes.
Now, do you feel like you have a lot to say from the past to now?
Well, I mentioned the other day who I was yesterday is not the same woman I am today, but I feel like what I also mentioned is, you know, everything we learned as a child, like my ballet, my piano, my singing, and even my art, like everything that I learned, it's still in my memory. And I think, you know, we all are talented. It's just we have to
say it. You got to do it. You
we have to do it.
Put it out there.
That's why you see so many people nowadays are watching the Instagram Reels, the TikTok, the Facebook Reels, and they're watching like what people do because a lot of people are talented and like to show like their creative side. And honestly, it's beautiful that everyone can share that, because it's like everyone enjoying everybody's talent instead of, you know, being jealous or competitive or hurting somebody's feelings. You uplift them and, you know, you tell them you did a great job, you can do this. Like everyone has that artist in
it's
them.
interesting you say that because TikTok and the heads of these companies, Sycamore or whatever from Facebook, they've learned that if you shorten like a reel for 30 seconds, more people will participate.
Because people's attention span is about
that's one reason.
20 seconds.
Well, that's one reason. The other reason is everybody has something to say. My goodness gracious, you look on Facebook, I took a poop in the grass and they put it on Facebook.
I think that's why everyone likes TikTok, because instead of going on YouTube now and watching these videos for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you can watch a video real quick and be done with it. Scroll, watch another video, scroll, watch another video, scroll, and you just have millions of videos you get to watch around the world.
In 30 seconds or less. Yeah.
This is such an interesting conversation. What do you get out of watching something for 20 or 30 seconds? It's just a blip of entertainment. Did you learn anything from it?
Well, I got to tell you something. I was never a TikTok anything. As a matter of fact, that TikTok for me was made by somebody else. He handed me over the stuff because he handed it to me loaded. But forget about that part of it. There's been some stuff on there that I've shared on our WhatsApp that talks about motivational speakers, about Sylvester Stallone, about some of the great basketball players on how they got started. And this is their story. And I find it very learning. Because sometimes you learn something not from listening to me, but from listening to others that have done it and have walked the walk. Okay, I mean, some of this stuff, and I've sent you some of it, I posted it on WhatsApp so they can sort of get a taste of a different wine. So yes, to answer your question, if you look enough, you got to go through a lot of them. If you look enough, you're going to run into something that is doable. It's
You
good.
gotta defeat something called the algorithm. I know it's a little bright. You have to defeat something called the algorithm, though, And once you pass that, you'll get more of the feed that pertains more to your likings.
It follows you.
And I don't like to quote this man, but Kanye did say that social media is like a car. It all depends on how you use it. You can use a car for evil, or you can use a car just to get yourself from transport A to B.
Sure.
And so on TikTok, Instagram, all these things, you can watch videos that appeal to you in a deadly sin sort of way, or you can watch motivational quotes. You can watch quick DIY videos. You can watch morning routine videos, all these other things that are out there on that platform.
I got to play devil's advocate a little bit here. I really do. So we talk about this. Again, I look at this 20 to 30 seconds. I see it more as entertainment than I see it as really getting anything from it. I think that distracts us from getting information that's really going to help us in some way. Maybe, and this could be totally wrong, right, Josh? Maybe that 20 or 30 seconds motivated you to do something, possibly. But I see that our attention span is so short. We're like little gnats, right? It's just like, boom, oh, well, that was nice. Because I know sometimes I can get into that. It's like, oh, that was a nice reel. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah, look at that. And all of a sudden, 30 minutes or 15 minutes has gone by, and I'm going, I was just inundated with stuff that was kind of entertaining. Did I get anything out of it? Probably. I don't think I did, for me.
Well, these videos aren't that long. These videos are 30 seconds, one minute max.
Yeah, but he's saying he's now scrolled for 30 minutes or 15 minutes of looking at how many videos can you look at of 30 seconds in 30 minutes.
But it depends, because I gotta tell you, you ever wake up and you're not having a good day and everything seems to be gray, or it ain't tasting right, or something just don't feel good today, and you get up and I find the actor, the black actor, what's his name? The guy, he was on Training Day.
Samuel Jackson?
Not Jackson. Yeah, Training Day was the cop with the gun, and he was a bad guy.
Oh, the little guy?
No, he's a tall, Denzel.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Okay.
I never knew how deep Denzel Washington can be. My goodness gracious. So, because I watched him once and I follow him, they send me over and over what he talks about.
Yeah.
Now, some of it, it's Danielle doing, movies and what have you. But man, when he gets deep, my goodness gracious, he brings it home.
It's like Will Smith in his movie A Pursuit of Happiness. Like, that was a real powerful movie about, finding your true happiness. And there's also a graduation video where there's another artist who talks about how he started off as an actor young, and, because of his color, he'd get made fun of and stuff, but he had never stopped pursuing his dream, and, he made it. And it's like a motivational speech for a graduate class, but
it gives you something to hang on to. So Sylvester Stallone is 73 now. Wow. And I remember Sylvester Stallone when I was Eye of the Tiger. I used to play it because his brother wrote that song. And I used to play that when I used to go bowling in New Jersey at a famous bowling league.
What year was the first Rocky movie?
Huh?
The first Rocky movie was what? 70s?
76, I think, 75.
Yeah.
And when I used to go bowling, that used to be my motivational song. But I watched Sylvester talk about how nobody gave him a chance. How nobody ever thought, because he had a facial distortion, how nobody ever told him he was going to be a success. They tried to rob him for the movie Rocky, when he finished in the garage in 24 hours. And he talks about how you have to work at what you want. And then I saw another one from Pitbull. Now, I'm not a big Pitbull guy. I didn't even know who the hell he was until I heard him say, people know me as an entertainer, but what I am is that I'm the hardest worker you're ever going to meet. So while you're sleeping, I'm working. And when you get up, I'm working, because you're never going to outwork me.
See, that's what makes me crazy. Not what he says, but we rely so much on we have an idea, and if Arthur tells me no, you tell me no, someone else says no, you can't do that. Ultimately, the no's in your head outweigh what you have to say until someone, what did Lady Gaga say? Not Bradley Cooper? Then there's that one person that gives you that chance that says yes. That validates everything you knew you had in your heart and soul to say. And if I tell you how many years people told me, no, even preschool things.
But
I'd
you
say
didn't
about
listen to the
preschool,
one person, most important person of that whole group.
because everyone else was saying, you got nothing to say.
But who's the
Who's
most
gonna
important?
listen to
But
you?
who's the most important person?
Me.
That's right. It don't matter. And this is what Pitbull was saying.
But
You
then
ain't
I
gonna
met
outwork
you,
me.
and you said, say what you got to say. And I said, but what I have to say doesn't resonate with you. And you said, why doesn't it? Let's do it.
You're being prejudgmental. You're judging the outcome of something before it begins.
Well, people judge me and said, I
Forget
even had
about
a thing
people.
at preschool with the administration, and they told me, no, we can't do it that way. And I said, but why? You're being divisive to children.
Listen,
and they
the
said,
other-
because that's what we do. I said, what?
The other day, I put on a red hat with a thing in the front.
Yes, you did.
And everybody says, what the hell are you doing? What? I don't care. I don't care about what they
Yeah,
think.
because you're that one person that gives everyone a chance.
But so are you. So are you.
Yeah, but you learn that with age as well too.
I'm gonna tell you, I've always been this way. When I was coaching
Never
Little
mind then.
League, when I
No,
was-
you keep going with your thoughts.
When I was coaching Little League, right, I had 11-year-olds. And I said to them, today, at this moment, you belong to each other. This is right before the championship game. And the parents were all around them. And I said, I need every parent to keep their mouth shut. I don't want you to say nothing for the next 3 hours. You can cheer and everything else, but don't talk to your kid. Your kid belongs to me right now. And I said to them, today is your day. Today, if you decide to bunt and squeeze home and run, you're right. If you strike, you swing, and the guy's stealing a base and it's 3 outs in the end, you're right. If you want to take an extra base, you're right. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. Today is your day. Today is D-Day. And do you know we beat a team that we had no business even playing against because they listened to that one person, themselves.
See, that's when that lady came in yesterday. Well, I don't even know why she came in to meet, but I don't know why. And she sat
She
here.
sat there for 20
and she
minutes.
says, but you love what you do. I said, I love what I do because you're here. You don't even know why you're here, except you're here and you want to make it work because you've got something to say. And that, to me, is why we do what we do. When it actually resonates with the person, with Karen or with Arthur, to say, I know I have something to say, but now I'm going to take that next step and I'm going to say it and create a platform to share what I have to say. That's why I love what we do. Because we don't ever tell people no. They tell us why they're no. I can't do it. I don't have the money. I don't have the sponsors. I don't have this. Can you do this? But before, they've talked themselves out of saying it before they say it.
Before they even sat down.
Right? They'll call me 10 times of why they can't do it. Because
But-
they need more, they need.
But they should listen to the one voice that says you came here because you can.
But do you remember at the gallery, someone came in, they sat down at our table we had.
I remember
with
this.
the book, and they said, I don't even know why I'm here.
I don't know. I was driving by and something told me to come in.
I was driving by.
And I saw your library and the coffee. I poured
Right.
myself a cup of coffee and I'm reading a book.
Yep.
We didn't know this person from Adam. You have a good time. Don't worry
They
about
had
it.
no idea why they were there. They just knew there was a reason they were there.
12 years ago when I met you, I said I didn't get even a chance to talk to you because you were like floating around doing what you were doing. And I did ask you, and I asked, 4 years, I asked and I asked. And finally, when you came and you did the show, you know, Gio and I were talking about that because we found the first interview.
Ooh. Yeah, well,
And she was sitting like this. And I said, what is wrong with her? I said, can we take a commercial break?
Next month is what, like 7 years,
7
8 years? Yeah.
I said, are you on some kind of medication? Why are you doing this? Use your hands. No, I was told not to use my hands. Again, if there's 50 people in a room and you listen to 49 people, you're doing the wrong thing.
But
you got to listen
people
to
don't
one.
know that, and that's why Arthur's here and
They do know that.
self-healing and growth.
They got to trust that. You got to trust what you feel. You got to trust it. And that's the hardest thing in the world. But if you want to be in love, if you want to have children, if you want to take care of a dog, if you want to have a car, if you want to have a job, if you want to have responsibility, you got to trust yourself to do these things.
And do them.
That's just when he says to me, do you want, I says, no, I want you to tell me. No, you're the CEO, you got to tell me, okay, do that, now figure it out. And look behind us, look around us. I don't think they're doing too many things wrong.
We had a lady in yesterday, Arthur, and she came in and she wanted to talk about the third, fourth, and fifth dimension of money. The third dimension being our American currency, right? As we
thing,
trade monies. But I think she was thinking of something different. The fourth dimension is maybe Meta, Bitcoin, how we're exchanging virtual monies. The fifth dimension, she says, is when it really doesn't matter how much money you have, whether it be currency or Bitcoin, because you know you are living your life's purpose, and you know in alignment, God, the universe, your angels, whatever you believe in,
spiritual money
will provide for you. The spirituality will bring down the currency that you need to do what you have to do.
That's right.
And to her, that's the fifth dimension.
That's spiritual
is to share
money.
that. And if we can all get to that level, then we don't have to worry about paying our bills, because we know we are in fully alignment with what we have to say and do and walk our walk.
That's like when Josh plays his music. He gets into the fifth dimension. He gets into a dimension that everything is feeling
Wasn't there a
pretty
group
good.
called the Fifth Dimension?
Yes, there was.
Was that their whole
That's
thing?
right.
Really?
That's what they were talking about.
See, I'm a little slow on the uptake.
Even the money that we have today isn't real. Because they just print, they just continue to print what they need.
Change
right?
the face on the bill and keep printing more.
They just keep printing more. It's like we started out with $100, in whatever year that was, basically, and somebody said, "Well, we need more. All right, go print some more." And the same thing today, right? We're in debt trillions of dollars, and we just go, "Well, we'll just raise the debt ceiling and we'll print some more money," and it's all false. There's nothing there.
It's funny. I had a professor named Mr. Goldstein. He was a Spanish professor. He was a Jewish gentleman from South America, because they had to hide. Apparently, a lot of Jews hid in South America during World War II to get away from the Nazis. So he was a professor. He had an apartment in a beautiful West Side apartment on West Side. So he took us out of the class and went to his house to have dinner. And we were supposed to bring something. So we had black beans and red rice. That's it. It was only 8 of us. I took Corpy with me. And we sat there, and we're sitting in a circle, and they made a huge pot of rice and beans, and that's all we had. And one of the kids was saying, "What kind of food is this?" And he said to him, "This is something from all of us. We all get to share, like a kibbutz.
Kibbutz, yeah.
We get to share what we brought together, and we all put this together." And I'm going to tell you, man, I still remember that day, because there was something from everybody. And we sat there, and Corpy even got a date out of it. My friend Corpy was with me. He got a date out of one of the girls that was there, because everybody had this harmony. And that's the feel you get when you come in our studios, that harmony. There is no right or wrong, man. There is no right or wrong. That's why when I tell Josh, don't stop playing, because the moment you stop playing, that's when that harmony spreads apart. Keep Braxton singing, keep her singing, keep doing your show. Keep it going, because if sooner or later people are going to drink your Kool-Aid, and they're all going to want to come, and they're going to say, "I don't know why I'm here." Like yesterday, all I know is I got to be here. And that's frequency. Okay? And you finally caught up after 4 years. You were in that low frequency.
Because everyone kept telling me, "You got nothing to say. Who's going to listen to you? You're a mom. Your kids are in preschool. Your kids are in school. Your PTA." You know what? I got a lot of information from race.
You were in your father's business.
Yes.
And you did real well with that. And didn't you do some funky stuff in that business? You used to do all sorts of stuff for kids.
I'm in empowerment in this country.
My
until
mother
8
was the
years ago.
biggest woman empowerment in the world. My sister and my mother was scary. Scary. My mother used to walk around with that chancleta. She said, "You do it my way, you get the chancleta." You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. Or
right?
the wooden spoon.
Right? And my sister, I'm going to tell you, don't mess with my sister.
My mom would just throw it across the house, and whoever it hit, it hit. And we'd say, "Why'd you hit us?" She says, "Well, you were closer." With my sister.
My mother used to make a turn. She would throw it from here, would go around the room and come back to her
My
like a
sister knew where to
saucer.
hide, so she never got hit.
My brother taught me to get into a ball. So my mother, she used to hit us, and it used to hurt her hand. So she says, "Oh, really? Huh." So she got the slipper. And I'm going to tell you something. I beat up my brother, says, "You idiot." That one really hurts, because she's using the slipper.
You know, here I get to talk all the time, and Karen and everyone that comes in, they get to share their voice. We got to get a new commercial in there, too. And I hope that's what we get to share with everybody else, is it's their time to sit and do.
You can only bring the horse to the lake. They got to drink. You got to believe in yourself enough to take a chance. You got to put one foot in front of the other and say, you know what, I count enough to try. Not to succeed, I never said that, but to try.
Yeah.
Because success is your own meaning of where you're at. I look at Karen and where she started. I look at Karen in the middle of where she started, and I look at Karen now. And I'm going to tell you, she's one of the few women in my life that I could say, you've walked the walk, you've been through the fire, and here you are, right?
Oh, yes.
You got great news yesterday about your daughter and everything else. I mean, isn't that what it's all about?
Yes, and honestly, when I met you guys like 16 months ago, I was on Kenny's show and my son's murderer's trial was going on, so it wasn't a pretty time and it wasn't a happy show for me. It was actually very sad, and you know, who I was 16 months ago when I first came here and who I am now, I'm very grateful for you, Freddie and Dawn, because both of you have believed in me and helped me grow more and become a stronger woman. And the people that come through in the studio, like Monday we felt like we were in Disney World, and the people that come through just we're all connected in a way. There's a reason why, you know, people show up and come here and have their dream of what they want to do or their show, and it's inspiring.
It's our portal of the world. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, let's see what else we got cooking. We got Arthur in here. Love, happiness, personal growth. I think it's all part of leading up to his show because it's all about your personal growth. And maybe it comes with age. It has to come with age and experience, Josh. There's no way I would ever have dared to say what I just said at 20, although I should have, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So it comes with growth.
Yeah.
More to come. 888-994-4995. Welcome to Brooklyn.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Brand new shows, only on AMP2 TV. We have All-in-One Insurance, Latin Hustle con Karen, Meta Magazine Show, Pitch 2 Production, The Florida Love Show. The Sixth Borough. Meet the Experts. Reinvented Life. Lights in the Night. And The Hangout. Tune in so you don't miss these amazing new shows. Only on AMP2 TV.
Would you like to hear better for as little as 10 cents a day? Now you can with the all-new Audion hearing aids. The average hearing aid lasts about 3 years. Ours, at only $99 a pair, means you're paying as little as 10 cents a day to hear better. And to make things even better, we'll give you a 45-day money-back guarantee. Skip the doctor and get hearing aids delivered straight to your door. We've eliminated all the middlemen to offer you a factory direct price of only $99 a pair. Join over 300,000 people just like you who took advantage of our 45-day trial offer. Now you can hear better too for just 10 cents a day. Call now and order your $99 pair of Audion hearing aids with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Plus, get free 3 to 5 day shipping.
800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. That's 800-259-1328.
If you have diabetes, would you like to eliminate painful finger sticks? Are you injecting insulin multiple times per day? Then you may qualify for a continuous glucose monitor. CGMs monitor blood sugar using a small patch placed on your upper arm or abdomen, and they use your smartphone to accurately monitor your blood sugar levels. Stop pricking and start scanning. Plus, CGMs are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. They can be shipped free of charge to your door. Call today to see if you qualify.
Todo Bello Balloons is a business that was born out of a passion for creating unique and beautiful balloon designs, including balloon bouquets, balloon arches, balloon columns, and more. We specialize in creating unique and beautiful balloon designs that bring your dreams into reality. We believe that balloons have the power to bring people together and create lasting memories, and we are honored to be part of that experience. Contact us and we will bring happiness to your celebrations with our balloons.
Don't call a plumber, don't call an electrician. Call right now and for as low as $1 a day. Many things that run your house are covered with thousands of technicians all over America. You can call us with a plumbing problem, an electrical problem, and we'll be in your home in no time at all with a solution to fix it. You don't need an expensive repair bill and you don't need to buy new expensive appliances. We'll show you how to fix it for about $1 a day.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hey-oh, here's another one to make your ears bleed.
That was amazing. Look at him getting better and better.
He is. I remember the first time he played that song, it didn't sound like that.
He must be in love.
I didn't have my guitar.
No, he never. Dawn said he must be in love.
He's got a good one right now. Let's put it that way.
Interesting perspective. So it's.
I got a little more confidence now.
I see that. Nice job. It's all about the confidence, right?
That's right. You can only
He's
fill,
always been him, and he's always played like that since we've known him, but now he's got the confidence to
you can
share
only
it.
fill a glass one drop at a time.
Yep.
Right.
How you like that quote I just sent you?
I love that quote.
So I saw that this morning on the wall in the room we were in, and I thought that's the perfect quote to put in the newsletter.
What's that quote?
If you will it, it is no dream. And that's by Theodore Herzl.
So true.
And then on our rolling screen over there, it says, don't tell people your dream, show them. So let me ask Arthur, how you like that?
I like that. Don't tell them, show them. I often felt like in my lifetime, when I would tell somebody I'm going to do something, it didn't often happen. If I never said anything to anyone, I just went ahead and did it. It changes. I don't know if that's something in my own head or if that's just the way life works. I'm not sure.
I used to have this, we started the show talking about superstitions, and I had this, and I think it's like a Jewish superstition. If you tell someone something before it happens, it doesn't always happen, which makes me think of what you said.
That's exactly right. I probably didn't say it as correct
But no,
as you
and
did.
I think it's the same thing. So I've stopped telling people anything of potentials until it happens, because they're either going to say it's not going to happen, you're not going to do it, or I feel like I put it out in the universe and I should not have put it out there yet until I actually do it.
When earlier in the show you were talking about doing things, getting things done, and oftentimes you also mentioned that people would say, oh no, you can't do that because it's not their dream. First thing that a lot of people do is, I remember mentioning to somebody something about, I'm going to charge X amount, and they'll go, you can't charge that much. And I said, well, why not? Well, because you just can't. That was in their head that whatever I was going to charge is outrageous. And I'm going, yeah, but it's worth that. And I need to get that, or I want to get that. So it's a perception, right? It's always perception.
It's funny because we have our fees for doing business in the studio. And he'll always say, how did you come up with that fee? And I said, because I think it's a fair price for doing business. And someone came in yesterday and said, well, this is what we pay for 4 hours of rental fee in the place. And it's exactly what our fees are. You know, if people know it's the price of doing business. Of what, but you have to know your value in your heart, that when you tell someone this is it, that it resonates and it makes sense, and you can totally back up your fee for what you're offering. Just like, you know, a head of lettuce is whatever it costs in the grocery store.
Yeah, I think they're too much. Just kidding.
A container of milk, we go someplace else because it's $2 cheaper than another store. For value or what it is.
But that's the value of business. And the value of business is the value of business. You got to pay to get your lights on, get stuff rented. That's the value of business. What I get discouraged at sometimes is that when you give people an opportunity to do something, they don't bring it. They bring it part-time, or they don't do it. They don't do what they're supposed to do. And Karen and I were just going through this with a show that we're doing from South America. And you got to bring it. You got to do it. You got to believe in it. I understand that football teams have cheerleaders. I get that, but the cheerleaders don't play the game. You still have to play the game. So if you're going to do something and you really believe you're going to do it, then do it. Don't make me have to pull you to do it. See, this whole thing is driving me crazy because I don't want to do that. I want them to bring what they want to do because they're the ones that started the whole journey, no?
See, but that's the difference between you and I. You pull them along. Me, I wait for them to come in and tell me they really want it. Like Arthur, when he said, I really want this. In my mind, that I knew he really wanted this. Lynn really wants it. Sally really wants it.
But he does his thing.
That's what I'm saying. The other people who come in and they'll meet with you for 3 months at 4 hours per meeting for 2 months, 3 months, they don't really want it. So I'm not going to pull them along because then they're going to be disappointed.
They're afraid to want.
Then they're going to be disappointed.
I made you a promise one day. I hung in there for almost 8 months on a deal, and I wrote it. Remember that? And you said to me, man, how did you? Because I see the fear more than I see the want. And until you evaporate the fear, you're going to be living in that. So it's just it's a part of my DNA. I've always gone long on deals. I don't go short because I know that people want to do things. They're just afraid of doing it.
And when Arthur, though, it's different because when we met you as an author, right?
Yes.
And then you told us you had about as many jobs as Freddie's had.
Oh,
more.
The list is longer than my arm. I started working at 14, right? So that's 64 years ago.
That's amazing.
And I'll never stop working. I feel like what would happen to me if I stopped working is I would die. There's just too much to do for me. I often look at my life in the mornings especially, and I go, okay, so why don't you just relax? And I don't know what relax is. I just don't. There's always something to do, maybe something to improve, something else to do in my business, something else for somebody else. Always, the mind is always going. And it's just life for me anyway is have to keep moving, I told my daughter if I ever get to the place where I can't think well enough or if I can't move well enough, then there's a gun in the side table. Just take it because I don't want to be here anymore.
So in this book, Your Key to Happiness and Love and Personal Growth, do you think you have to find time for you in this mix for this personal growth to happen?
Great question. Because I've had a few people in the past week ask me about the book and what do you get out of it and so forth. And the more people ask me about it, the deeper I have to go into saying, all right, what is in this book that's so important for you? The importance of it is to actually find, we don't know ourselves. We literally do not know ourselves. We don't go deep enough into things. Karen and I were just talking a little bit about because my sister's going to be on the show today.
Is she coming in?
Yeah, she's coming in. So we were talking about the differences between us and how we saw our parents. And we saw them the opposite of each other. This gets into the depth of what she heard from my father as opposed to what I heard from my father, what she heard from my mother as opposed to what I heard from my mother, right? This is the perceptions and actually what we believe, because this is what we believe we heard. And so that's why we're on the opposite side of it. I decided a long time ago to invest time in understanding why am I doing the things that I do. And I want to know why I'm doing things because not everything works out. Not everything. First of all, there's nothing in life that's perfect. I'm not perfect. I never will be. But I want to understand how can I do things better, not just for myself, but how I show up better for everybody else. The better I show up for everybody else, the kinder I can be to other people, the more loving I can be, the easier my life becomes.
Well, I was going to ask you, does that make your life better? If you're making everybody happy, I said this to you yesterday. If you're trying to make everybody happy, your daughter, your sister, Josh, Freddie, Karen, all the people in your life, you're doing your best to make them happy. At the end of it, are you depleted?
No,
or are you
I'm really
happy?
not making them happy. I'm just showing up as a good, happy person.
So
and
you're
if
not
they
trying
need
to make their life easier.
I can't make their life easier. I mean, yes. All right, let's erase that for a second. I would love to make everybody's life easier. It's just the fix-it person in me, right? Most men have this fix-it personality. I have it maybe on steroids. So I'm always wanting to help somebody else. I had to realize at some point in my life that I can't always help everybody else. I had to get to a place of sometimes saying, no, I'm sorry, I just can't do that. Or I won't make the time to do that because I need to help myself. They say put your oxygen mask on first. I don't do that real well. I just don't. But it's a very fine line that we walk with everything, in our personal lives and in our business life. As an example, in business, you want to get X amount for your work that you're doing. But there's also that line that says, if I go too far to enrich myself, I may not get the business. And it's kind of the same thing in life. You're always walking this tightrope of, all right, how do I take care of myself and take care of everybody else at the same time for all of us to be healthy? And it's not easy, but a lot of us don't take the time to want to understand that. You're either in the, I want to help everybody else, I've been there, and I'm not helping myself. I still have a problem with that. But I understand it. At least I'm making a conscious decision. It's not like I'm just doing it without being conscious of why I'm doing it. So this is, again, the fine line, the tightrope that we walk between how do I keep myself healthy and still be true to myself and also help other people.
It's a fine
Well,
line.
on that point, I want to introduce you to Tina,
Hi,
who
Tina.
who I call, pick up your mic, who I call Samurai, and I want to give Tina the book.
This one?
Yep. And I want Tina to take this book, and I want Tina to look it over, and I want her to keep it and work on it, and come back to me next week and tell me what you find. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think the book is it's a good book, it helps you. B, it's a no-brainer. C, it doesn't help you at all. It doesn't make a difference. There's no judgment on this thing. But I want to do this because, sometimes in my life, going back to what he just said, I don't think Arthur can help me be happy. I think that Arthur can show me what happiness is. It's up to me to be happy, okay? And with watching him that it is doable, watching Karen that it is doable, I believe that. I believe that I can achieve that, but I have to get myself there. So what I want to do is I want to give this book, because I always, in my life, I meet certain people. And for some reason, only God knows this mystery. Only God knows. There's a winner waiting to come out of it. And I met this young lady, and we know her for a little while. And I would never, ever quit on Tina. And I push her, and I pull her, and I say this, and I tell you this, and I say, sometimes I drive her crazy. True?
True.
Pretty true. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't know why, but somewhere in that body, in that girl, in that lady, there's a star. I'm going to get it out. I'm going to get it out before her and I separate ways and we go in different directions. And maybe this will help me get there. So I want you to take that book. I want you to read it, and I want you to understand it. And come back 7, 10 days, 14, whatever it takes you. Don't put it in a place like the glove compartment. Try it, and try to emphasize and see if there's something in that book that relates to you. That's all I'm asking. That's all I want. And we won't talk to him about it. You're going to talk to me and Dawn about it, maybe the crew. And after that's all done, then we'll talk to Arthur, because this book, in my opinion, should be in every one of these kids' hands before they get into college. And
You
I
said
said
that
this
since
to
the
him,
beginning.
because there's something about the magic in that book that's going to bring out the best in you. She's a wise guy too, by the way. But let's see what happens with it. Did you do that?
Yes. Anything for you.
There's the wise guy in her.
Which is okay.
So, you talk about wise guy, and right, I have Wisdom Cafe, but I used to be the wise guy. And right, growing up, this is the importance. I'm glad you share this, Freddie, because this is the importance of the book. It's not for me. I wrote it. I like writing it. I like helping people. This is about, I don't know how to sometimes explain it, to go really deep into you, deep into understanding who you are. Why do you operate the way you do? I know I'm repeating myself a lot because this is absolutely 100% true. Why am I the way I am? And how can I be a better person in this world to facilitate more peace and love in the world? That's the top line, bottom line. I'm not sure which line it is, but the thing is that how are we all going to get along on this planet together to make it a rich and beautiful planet. We're not doing it today, that's for sure. We're just not. On the other hand, I say that the majority, I look in my neighborhood, and if you look in your own neighborhood, and you look at your neighbors, and what do they want? The majority of the people in any neighborhood, what they want is they want to be left alone, right? In the sense of, just let me be at peace in my life, and I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to disturb you. Please don't disturb me. Yet the news doesn't allow you to see it that way. The promotion of violence in games and TV and on the media will absolutely drive us insane, and will put us at odds with each other, which is what it's doing. Everybody, the majority of the people just want peace and love. That's all. They want happiness and security. Everybody wants that, but we don't get it because we're always, a lot of times we believe that if you have it, you've taken it away from me, which is not true. There's more than enough in this whole world. We know what we can create as a society and as a person.
You know, for me, sometimes, and I told you this yesterday, I work so hard at being everybody's cheerleader, of lifting everybody up, of giving everybody as much air and wingspan as I can, that by the end of the day, or the week, or weekend, I got nothing left inside this tank because I've spent so much time, I'm hoping to help others to make their life easier. I know I can't make them happy, but maybe those little things I can do, even especially for my kids.
So, I have to do this right now because this is the appropriate time for this. Please stand up. Because I'm going to try and fill your tank up a little bit with a little love, with just a hug. See, it's little. When I say little, but it's a big thing. Right?
Well, you got to go back to your mic because nobody can hear you.
All right.
You can share mine. But I think that's the change in personal growth, that as we age, with confidence comes other things. And it's probably because it's not about my happiness, it's about growth. At some point you say, and I look at Karen because I know you give so much. You gave so much to Giovanni and so much to your daughter, that when we met you, you had nothing left in your tank. There was nothing. There was no Karen there. You were just a shell.
Well, I was still on that depressed, dark, negative side because I was thinking I was never going to be with my daughter again, and I just was grieving all my loss. But until I finally got to the acceptance phase of my grief, and especially now that I've been entering my daughter's life ever since February, I just feel like, wow, it's amazing how it is real that the rainbow always comes out after the storm. The sun always shines after the storm. So when we are in that gray weather, it's just a temporary moment to have the sun shining again and things getting better in your life, because I feel like life is a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs, but it's also a beautiful process if you allow yourself to the change and the transformation.
Well, the hardest thing, when things are going haywire, when things are going downwards, you begin to buy into that's the only way out. It's like getting stuck in the bottom of the ocean or being in quicksand, and the more you try to get out, the thicker it gets.
But then there's the piranhas that swim around you that say, Freddie, stay down here with me in this bad place.
But the bottom line is that eventually you shake it off and say, you know what? Being in that bad place has no outcome. And you start to add one drop, one step, one belief at a time. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. Sometimes you got to sit in a quiet room and say, you know what? I'm not a bad dude. I'm not a bad person. And you have to be honest, and you got to keep going. And you got to take that frequency. You got to go to the next. Put on some music. Dance if you can dance. Laugh if you can laugh. These are all things that we're capable of doing that don't cost you a nickel to do. And the moment you catch fire, the moment the good stuff begins to happen and you start piling it on, then all of a sudden you're back. Don't give away your shine. I've told you this a million times. I just said this to Nikki
I
today.
heard you say that.
Don't give away your shine. Because to give away your shine and to get it back is 100 times harder than anything else in your life. You give it away. You say, oh, this person did that, or this person did. You're giving it away. No, they didn't do it. You did it. That's you. That belongs to you. And if you want to help others, then stop giving away your shine. Now, you want to use books and things of that nature to help people, then do that. But don't give away your shine. And don't ever stop believing in you, no matter how rough it gets, because I can show you a whole lot more rough.
You know, this one's gotten off easy the past 6 months until she showed me what she can do over the weekend.
Well, she has talents, but she's had her trials and tribulations as well. It hasn't been easy for her either. And sometimes you got to be patient until the moment comes that light bulb lights up like it happened to you. And all of a sudden, she's going to see the other side and say, you know something? Maybe this is the right way for me. But this is something she has to pick her path. Same thing with Karen. I mean, Karen glows now. There was a time when Karen, we didn't know what was going to walk in through the door, remember? So what happens, Arthur's the same way. When I first met Arthur, I say he's the wild card until he made that promise. And I told Arthur, I'm going to help you keep that promise. And he's delivered. And
I'm going to ask the audience out there right now a question. And I'm going to give you something to do with how you answer it. One is there someone who is on your mind right now that you either need to make amends with or that you love deeply and you haven't talked to them in a while? See, I want you to, right now, pick up the phone. Pick it up right now and call somebody that you love, because you don't know how much more time you have. And you don't want to leave this life without telling someone that you love them. They want to hear those words and you want to speak them. So don't ever forget that. Every day, every single day, tell somebody you love them. Give somebody a hug. It's the most important and most powerful thing you can do in your life for yourself and for them. You don't want to have that regret. I'll leave it at that.
And on that note, there's nothing more to say other than
Except
that's a
for that
wrap.
clock. What's
I
wrong
gotta
with
put a
that clock?
battery in
I
it.
can't see the numbers.
You sound like the one from last night.
I can't hear it. I can't see it.
It's 1:59.
Well, how are you going to know where to go if you can't see your way? Oh, there you go. The vision.
Maybe time is not that important. Maybe
Is that
it's
what it
all
is?
in our own
Maybe
divine
the blur
timing.
is the way, right?
Maybe it's in our own divine timing. But I can't think of a better way to wrap it up than what Arthur just said. Pick up that phone call, tell someone you love them, and make a difference in their life and in yours. 'Cause otherwise, you're holding all of that anxiety. I had to do that today with somebody. So, more to come. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Pick up the phone and tune in today at 3 o'clock to Wisdom Cafe. You do not want to miss this show. Arthur Tassinello and Michelle Landers. Wow. All I can say is, wow. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. drive time.
From the Brooklyn Bridge. See ya and don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.